The next strategy that I'm going to discuss today is using pivots. It's an intraday strategy. You can do it on any stock. I'm going to show it on index, but I'm going to show you a few examples here. And I do it on a 5-minute time frame. And I only use a single indicator, which is pivot points. And using pivot points, I will be taking a pullback trade. So I call this strategy the pivot point plus pullback strategy. So let me first show you the settings. The pivot points are the normal pivot points, so there is no change in the settings. All I've done here is I'm only using S1 and S2 and R1 and R2, and I'm not using the other S3, S4, S5 and R3, R4, R5. I'm not using them. I'm only using P, S1, S2 and R1 and R2. Now let's talk about the strategy. In this, we can see every day, since it's an intraday system, we can see 5 lines which I mentioned every day. And now let us understand how do we understand these lines. So on a very general sense, we understand that R1 is considered resistance and R2 is considered another resistance, and S1 and S2 are supposed to be support. But during intraday, we will only consider them to be very important levels, and based on that we will be trading the levels. So that what it means is, on R1 I can even go for a buying entry, and similarly on S1 I can go for a selling entry as well. So we will only consider them as important levels and take trades based on that. And we will be taking a trade only when a pullback happens. So let me explain to you what that means. If you see here, if you see from here example, the stock was trading, the Nifty was trading around R1. It came down and then it made a pullback, So this is what we are looking for. We are looking for a pullback around an important level, which is one of these. Once this happens, then we can take, if it goes down, we can take a selling entry at the low of this candle. So this is where we will take the entry. So this is my selling entry done, and my stop loss will be the high of these two, or I can put R1 as the stop loss. So this becomes my stop loss. And how I'm going to trade it is, I can keep the next level, which is this level, as my target, or I can have two targets as well. So this can be my first target and this can be my second target. And as you can see here, it went down, it touched your first target, and then it ended up touching the second target also. So this would have been my first trade. Let's say if you missed the first trade, you will see that you will get the same trade again. Let's again talk about that. If you see, the P is an important level. It went down, then it made a pullback again, almost touching P, and then it came down again. So again I'll do a selling entry here, and we can see that it has touched our target here also. So this could have been a second trade as well. So this was the first example. Let's talk about next day. If we see the next day, you will notice that the Nifty opened right in the middle of these two lines. So we will not be trading till it touches one of the lines. This is where it has touched the below level, and you can see it went up, then gave a pullback, and then went up again. So we will be buying this time. We will be buying this time with this as the stop loss, and you can see that it touched our level. Now let's see if we get another entry. Here we can see market came down again from this level, the pivot level. It again did a pullback and came down again. So we will sell here as per the strategy with this as the stop loss. So we'll take a sell trade here with this as the stop loss, and this time you'll notice that my stop loss is hit. So that's fine. As you know, all the trades will not be profitable. Let's try to see a few more examples the next day if we get any more entries. Again, you will notice the stock came here. So Nifty came here, came down, made a pullback, and then it went down. So we will take a selling entry at this point of time with this as a target, and it will touch the target. So our target is hit, and then we will get a buying entry also. It came up, pullback, and went up again. So I will buy here with this as the target. So you'll notice a lot of times your target gets hit, Let's maybe take one more example, or we can probably take an example on a different stock. Let's take an example here, and then I'll also show you on a different stock. This time it went down, came up, gave a pullback, and went down. So I will take a trade here, but this time my stop loss is hit. So this is a stop loss hit trade, and I will not get a second entry. You can say this is a small pullback. So yeah, this could have been a trade, because if you zoom it a bit, it went up, came down. Actually, this was a red candle and went up again. So I could have taken a buying entry here and exited here. This could have been my second trade, which would have been a profitable trade. So this is the strategy which I use a lot, and I usually do it on a 5-minute time frame, but again, you can do it on a 3 minutes time frame as well, and it works really well on intraday basis. Let's take one stock example probably to see if it works in the stocks also. So I'm showing you the strategy on HDFC Bank now. If we take this day, the stock went up, then gave a pullback. So we are waiting for this level to break, but you can see that this level was never broken. So we did not get any entry, but it finally came down. And after coming down, it gave a pullback, and this time the lower level was broken. So I will take a sell entry with this as my target, and my first target is met. In fact, my second target is also met right at the end of the day. So two trades, and both the trades were profitable. Let's see if we get any more entries. The next day you will notice that there is no entry here. There is no entry here because the pullback itself was pretty late. So we can see that the market came down, and then there was a pullback, but it was a very big pullback, so we will not take any entry. So no trade on the next day. Let's check if we get any trades on the third day. Again, you can see here it gave a pullback. Now this was a little risky trade, I would say, because even though we got an entry here, my risk to reward is almost 1:1. So maybe I will not take this trade, but anyway, even if you take the trade, it will be a profitable first trade and the profitable second trade also. In case you missed this trade, you will see that you will get another entry. It came down, went up, and then we can take another sell trade here. So I've seen this working on different stocks. In fact, you can even do it on currency and MCX. It works really well, the strategy.